Hello and welcome to this electrifying video. Today I'll show you what I've been doing the past week and a half. Involves electrics. So I did show a few previous videos of me trying to find the elusive conduit or pipe in the ground to reroute the wires. I did not find it, so I ended up redoing all of this. So you can see that's a water pipe, no water inside. Electrical pipe is in there. In the electrical pipe or conduit are the wires. So this I have not secured because we will probably be changing all of this here for a proper fuse panel with out all of this wood. So that's why there's also some extra slack on the wire so that it can be rerouted easily. It is currently going in through here, so there's a switch to power everything over in the barn, as well as there's two fuses. Neutral and the live are fused in France. So these are the old style fuses. They have a literal blowable fuse. There we go. So if something goes wrong, it blows. This is a 16 amp fuse. These can handle 20, but the plan is then to change them into a single unit with a fuse strip. That way it can be reset, and because if these blow, you have to replace the fuse. So that's why this one is also plugged in, because it's fused. There's another plug over here that is not fused. It's directly hardwired into the electrical mess. But that's for another day. So what have I done from there? It goes into the ground, through there, all the way across here. You can see there's some cement concrete into there. Into the barn, comes out of here. First had the plan to put the box there and then to bring it along that metal rail, but I thought bring it up. There's a division box, so to the left power goes on all over. This one here goes to the light switch, and there's a second one to the light that loops to a switch all the way around and to there. So now it's on, now it's off. The black wire goes all the way along. It should actually also be in a conduit, but it is an insulated wire, and the wires inside are also insulated. And I did that when I had not bought enough conduit. But anyway, it goes behind the boxes. It comes from here. I put a bit of cardboard here so it won't chafe on the edge. From there it goes into the light switch. From the light switch goes all the way up. Some more cardboard along the wooden beam, and even more up, and to a new light fitting. So now you can see it's on, and now it's off. Right, so that is that circuit. I replaced all the wiring. So the old wires used to come out of that orange pipe, but they were only 1.5 millimeter wires and no earth. So for sockets and lights like that don't need an earth, but the light like the LED tube does have an earth point. So from that distribution box we carry on. I had to fill in that hole first and carry on here. Then that was the old distribution box, smaller round one. Replace that with the square one a little bit lower. Had to fill that in, and then we got a socket here. So these outdoor sockets are actually a lot cheaper than the indoor ones, boxes. So that's why there's all these flap ones, €1.35 each. And we can see here there's power. From there there's another little tube that goes to a small light switch, just to a little spotlight. This used to hang in the bathroom, while the bathroom has been refurbished, so we don't need this. But it gives enough light for this workbench. From there, it continues on through the wall, so 65 centimeter thick wall. Needed a long drill bit. From there, goes along there to another distribution box. So one goes up, we'll tackle that later. Other comes down to a T, so power going this way through the wall again. This one was tougher because I had to go through concrete. And to another light switch. Hit this light switch. Got one light on over there and one over there. And now they're off. And so from that light switch the power goes in. There's two wires running in this, the supply to the light switch and from the light switch onwards. That's why there's a T-piece here. From there one comes in going that way, the other continues on over there, up along there, all the way there. There's another T-piece, one wire goes down, the other goes up and to the left, all the way along to the other light. So this one was a neon tube. I took the ballast out, removed the wires from one side, and now retrofitted this LED tube to it. The LED tube did not work, I had to repair that as well. The wires are fitted with a crimp to the connectors. The crimp had not held, so I had to refurbish that and then use a bit of solder, but it works now. So from there we go up and all the way along through the wall. I've also been doing some tidying up here. So all the way here and then through the wall. So let's go to the other side. This door is rusted shut, so that does not work for the moment. Some of my parents' things, they've already brought a truckload over. So from that side through the wall comes into this distribution box. One goes to the left, one to the right. So follow the one to the right first, go all the way over here behind all of these items, boxes. So there's one power point here. Pretty strange place, you'd think, but sometimes if you want to work just outside the door or just over here, as the plan is to have the car eventually in here and work on the car here. So there's a power point. It works as well. Also sometimes, last time my father was using the saw here, the tile saw, and I had to pull an extension cable from the garage next to the house. So this way, very easy. Anyway, from there we continue on behind this mess over here down to a light switch. From the light switch we go make a U-turn all the way up, as I had to replace all this wood paneling because the one that was on it was a little bit too short and it did not sit flush with the beam. I like things to be flush. This way also, the top wasn't covered, so I had to put in a piece over there. And we go over here, all the way there, to another distribution box. And that's because of two things. One, so that I have two lights working from the switch. Second thing is we change from rigid to flexible cable here. So one goes through here, up there, along here and to this light. So I did not repaint the light. So first thought I just clean it up. It is actually an E40 fitting, but an E40 LED bulb is very expensive. So I bought an adapter and fitted this one in. This is 60 watt LED, so equivalent of 350 watt incandescent and 6000 lumens. Alright, because the old bulb is here. That's a 300 watt bulb, warm white, but not the most economical. Anyway, from that little box we go along here and down to this bulb. The bulb is not quite bright enough for this area, but at least the whole fitting is in place. I can always change the bulb. So we can see that it works just by pressing the switch. See, that one's on. That one's on. Obviously bright daylight you don't see any difference, but at night time this gives plenty of light. Alright, now we go back to this distribution box. We go to the left and down and here again. So I first had to make the workbench, which I spent about 1.5 days for, in order to know where to put the electrical sockets, switches and the pipework. So that is done. Anyway, you come into this electrical distribution box. One goes to the left, one goes down to another plug, and the light switch. So if we follow this, goes up, behind there, along there, to another double LED tube. So also you may be wondering, on a few lights you might have seen a red dot. That's because the LED tube can only be powered from one side, and with the cover on you can't see where the wires are, so the red dot represents the power side. So in the future, if they do fail, I can just change the tube and I know on which side is power, because you can't power them on both sides. It clearly says here, do not power this end. Also, the cable ties to hold it in place, because, well, being a cheap fitting, the fitting was too long for the tubes as such that it would fall out. I had to modify that. Anyway, it works. You can turn it on. There we are. Okay, and from there we continue on to this distribution box and the switch. Oh, not the switch, the plug. You can see it works. And why a box? Because in the future, if the light is not bright enough and I want a specific light shining on the workbench, I can wire in a switch and the light directly. Otherwise you could of course just wire this one directly to the switch, but like this it leaves options also in case I ever want to continue on over there, or maybe on the other wall or something. So just to finish this off, there's a pile of tools. Those are all double. Yeah, I've already bought a few magnet strips, just waiting for them to arrive. We'll go one there, and one over there, just to hang them on. Did buy a screwdriver set for here as well. This I still have. So this will be the car garage. So I have to put in shelf space, and underneath the blanket or the cover are the seats for my car. They were in the garage, taking up space and accumulating dust. Inside that bag is the parcel shelf, some tape, and the general tidy up has been done here. Tomorrow or this evening, heavy rain and hail is expected, and lightning and strong winds, so that's why this area had to be done quickly. The car will come in here. It is a bit of a tight fit, but it does fit perfectly. That way the car is protected, and this roof is pretty good. The barn roof, sometimes I do find pieces of root tile on the ground, So I can't really use that to put the car in, because if a piece of roof tile comes down onto the windshield, not the best. But you can see it is all quite full. Anyway, I think that concludes the electric video for now, and thanks for watching. Hope you found it electrifying, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Have a nice day. See you on the next video.